Hey guys, what is going on? Bloomersoon here, and welcome back to an organised schedule. Hopefully. I'm going to get back to things. Hopefully, like I said, things will be back to normal in terms of a schedule. I'm really looking forward to that because I really miss making videos on a regular basis. Along with that, some news about the channel. I might, seriously considering, but not really sure about it at all, have a new username. I still question if that's the reason that I haven't sort of caught on YouTube is because of my username, but you never really know. I'll see what happens, and that might change at some point, so be surprised if it does, but also be aware that it is actually still me. So anyway, into the video. Recently, footage and information trailers came out from Gamescom in Germany. A bunch of it involving Battlefield 1, of course, as we're here to talk about. Now, one of the things that was revealed, rumors confirmed, was that there were going to be new elite classes. Now, these are essentially classes that you pick up from the battlefield and you instantly become, and they have exclusive abilities that no other class in the game has access to. Now, the first one is a Flame Trooper. This guy has fire-resistant clothing, a gas mask, a super powerful flamethrower that has actually surprisingly good range, and of course, he has a little bit of armor. This isn't a huge amount of armor to where he's going to be able to take a bunch of damage, but to the point where he can take a little bit more damage than the usual soldier. Now, of course, this guy is meant to be the anti-infantry one of them all, and really if you get a big cluster of enemies, he's meant to go up and just annihilate them all with this super powerful flamethrower. His only downside being, of course, he has absolutely no range whatsoever. Now, the next class is the Sentry-Heavy class. This guy is basically a human tank. He has a water-cooled, fully automatic heavy machine gun that can basically just annihilate enemies if you get a good enough shot. He's super strong with a ton of armor. This guy can take huge amounts of damage. You need anti-tank weaponry to take him out. So as you can see, this guy is really not going to be some character who you see casually take out with a couple of bullets and carry on. You really need to think about how you're going to take him out and how you're going to approach him. This guy's only downside, he doesn't have a gas mask. So of course, if you get a gas grenade on top of him, or you get enough around him, he's going to be annihilated and won't be able to do much more damage aside from the few enemy kills. Now the last class is the Tank Hunter. Now, part of me loves this guy. I think, oh yeah, Tank Hunter, that's totally my sort of thing. That's what I love doing in Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3. That's why I'm going to love in Battlefield 1 as well. The other part of me is saying, oh, this guy is really not going to be the class that I'm going to like. This is going to be the guy that I'm really going to complain about and hate everyone else using. Now, what I mean by this is he has access to the 1918 Tankgewehr rifle. I've talked about this thing before. It's a super big, 4.5 feet long, I believe, anti-tank rifle that has unbelievable damage. Now we know now that it has unbelievable range as well. It can hit a tank from basically anywhere. It still doesn't have a scope, so that's kind of a balancing situation there where sure it's super powerful but doesn't have a scope, and of course it's going to have a hell of a lot of bullet drop, but if it hits a tank it's going to do a absolute ton of damage. So again, from my perspective, this sounds great. I'm like, wow, that's totally my thing, you know. If he gets a sidearm, and that's a decent sidearm, then instantly this guy could be a really good class to use. He can take out most people with this Tankgewehr and then move on to do other things. We don't actually know if the Tankgewehr is going to be his main weapon like the other two classes, or if it's going to be a gadget he has access to. I believe it will be his main weapon because it's similar to the other two, and then maybe he'll have C4 as an extra weapon. Now, like I said, this class sounds amazing. It's like, oh my god, this is perfectly what I want. The problem is he has a super long range, super powerful sniper rifle. If it has anti-personnel abilities, we're of course going to see people taking this guy who is going to be a super helpful tank class, or anti-tank class, and they're going to sit on the top of a hill and take out enemies from long range, of course getting one-shot kills because this thing is unbelievably powerful. So basically, after having the game rebalancing and seeing basically the loss of super long range scopes and rifles with super long range abilities, they're basically adding it straight back in with this exclusive class that is going to be super essential to winning most objectives. So from some perspective, people will say, oh, but it's super powerful sniper rifle, why wouldn't you use it on the top of a hill? Of course then, that's not what it's meant for, and that's not why it's most effective. What I hope is that the weapon won't have abilities, or won't have very good anti-personnel abilities, and maybe we'll have to take 2 or 3 shots. That's completely unrealistic, but at the same time, that's really the only way to balance it well, where it's still anti-tank, but it's not anti-infantry. I really don't want him to become the sniper camping on the hill, so you're going to have to balance him pretty damn well, and really I hope it's done well enough. So maybe there'll be more elite classes that we'll learn about. There's not really much possibility after this point. Maybe a vehicle repairer, one who is all vehicle repairs, basically a counter to the anti-tank, but we don't really know. At the moment, I like it as it is, but we'll have to wait and see. The beta comes out on the 31st of August, so make sure to go and sign up for that when it comes out. In terms of the channel, if it suddenly changes name, I'll make a video about it. I would like to do it if I have a better name, because again, if there's anything I can do to suddenly gain huge popularity, then I will do it. But at the same time, the last time I tried to change name, it really didn't work well at all. So I'll have to wait and see what actually happens. Either way, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Blue Monsoon, out.